So we got a new question, and I will put your name in the description because I'm not that good with names sometimes. You say, thanks for the great videos, and I thank you for being here. Where I'm getting stuck in the last weeks is, okay, I am it all. I'm not the person, and I really experience it. But then my mind goes like, how come I don't understand how I create it all? How come I can't manifest in 1 second what I wish? How come there is still a mystery that I am not omnipresent, omniscient? There must be something more or deeper. Can you help? My guess is that my vibrations need to get even higher. The ego needs to disappear even more, and that it should be feasible? That's an unknown word to me. It's not my native language. I would be happy to have your understanding about it. Now I would say there are like two paths. There is one path called the pathless path. It's the most direct. So, and that's where you want to be actually. Your problems are God's problems. So you asking me how come I don't understand how I create it all, that's not your question, that's just the life force expression. It wants to play. That's the pathless path. So wherever you are God in yourself, playing as if it's not the case. But I guess you want to know how to have this infinite peace and stop this mind chattering. So I told you I'll make a video about it. And when it comes to meditation, what happens is that your amygdala and your default mode network, these are parts in your brain, they are shrinking. Those parts of your brain are the reason why you have this mind noise, this chatter, this sense of this I want to know why, if I'm God, why I'm not able to do this or that. That's where your sense of personality emerges from. And that will tell you how to shrink those areas in your brain. And there's like the hippocampus, the prefrontal cortex, and some areas of your brain that increase when you are meditating. But I don't want to get too scientific about it. I just want to tell you what to do to see your true self. Because your true self doesn't care about anything. That's what breaks your ego, to find out that your true self doesn't care about anything. Because some of us are born thinking that we have this mission. There's like a sense that somewhere in this world, I feel like there's a holy grail and it's waiting for me and I have to seek it. I am a hero on an adventure to get to this holy grail, and I try to find it in the best toys I can get in my childhood. I wanted to have the best grades. I wanted to be the smartest, the strongest, the most beautiful, the most spiritual, the most successful. I wanted to have the best relationship, and now still don't have this holy grail. So it must be the enlightenment. Now you ask the guru, what is my true self? And then the guru asks you, who's aware of this question? Then you look inside. The one that's aware of me thinking is absolutely no one. It's a no one. It has no identities, it's just observing. And it doesn't care about my life problems, about my healing, about my awakening, about the Holy Grail. It's just there. So now you get a sense, it dawns on you that you are that. You don't care. You are the true self that doesn't care about anything. You're just the pure equilibrium. So, and that kills your ego, because from the perspective of the ego, you can ask your true self, why am I not able to create what I want if I'm God? You as the ego ask this to your true self, and the true self simply answers, Who cares? Who cares? So then you as the ego ask the true self, do you even care about my healing? It says no. Why? Because there's nothing to be healed. Do you even care about my liberation? No. Why? Because there's nothing to be liberated. Your true self is already perfectly safe and complete in abundance. But how to stay in that true self? Now that's pretty simple. If you simply close your eyes and you use your whole attention or awareness to simply stay, let's say, if you want to play with that, you can focus on whatever you want, but just for showing you what I mean, just become aware of the breath. There's the breath. There's absolutely nothing personal about it. It's not personal. Just become aware of the breath. Now what is it called again? The amygdala in default mode network doesn't like this when you are aware of the breath, because they want to think about you, how you relate to the world. But when you're just aware of the breath, there's no content of you. It's just you get this feeling of you are not important. It's just breath. That's how your ego dies. It's like, what? I'm not important? I wanted to attain this enlightenment, and now it's just breath? That's how it works. So every time you are aware of thoughts that say, but I doubt that I'm truly everything, I doubt that I'm truly what is, just know that these are just some neurons in your brain, in your prefrontal, no, not your prefrontal cortex, in your amygdala. It's the area of your brain that causes fear and worry and thinking, and so just become aware of the present moment that you can find right now. It's your breath. It's right here. Do it every day. Like, first you can set a timer for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Say, in those 10 minutes, I'm just gonna be aware of my breath, or meditation music, or whatever you want. And just be here. That's it. And every time you notice that something personal is arising, just say, no, I'm gonna worry about that later. I'm focused on my breath right now. When you're focused on your breath, be also aware of the motive you have. Like, if you're like, I'm still a person aware of breath to attain something that I as a person want, be aware of that. Just know that there's nothing to get. There's no holy grail. Just be aware of your breath without a motive. Let that ego structure die. And when you are developing that skill of becoming what you already are, that's why I'm doing this. It's not a skill, it's just you are who you are. That's why I mentioned the pathless path, because there's no path. See, it's already perfect. You are here, you're at home, pretending that you're not. But I want your eyes to see where you are. So I'm telling you that you can use this technique to become fully present and not get lost in identity. You're here. Thoughts tell you otherwise, but they are lying. They're from this, what's the devil called again? Satan. The father of all lies. So don't listen to the devil. Just be here. And you'll find yourself in a state of mind where you are like, you feel like you don't have problems. You don't have problems, you don't know It's just everything's good. You don't want to argue with anyone. You're like, we are all just friends, you know. We're humans. We're friends. That's how you'll feel. It's not an extraordinary good feeling, a high sense of pleasure that you don't want to lose. It's like, wow. It's also not a depression. It's just you're like in the middle. It's just neutrality. And that's what you want. The realization that the nut seeking is the holy grail you were trying to get when you were a child. And it's just, the mind doesn't bother you anymore with all these thoughts. You know your true self. You are this still, I don't care consciousness. So you're not identified anymore with this ego that asks why, what, how, what is this, why is that, blah, 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 blah. Go away. I'm here. Fully present. And then you just know. The deeper you go, it's not something you can dig into, but you get the gist of it. It's when you go deeper into it, you know that this still presence has to be in everything you see. So you are everything. So don't worry about your questions. Don't worry. I haven't answered your questions like how come I don't understand how I create it all. I cannot answer this to you because ego doesn't create. It is the creation. You are the thing that is beneath it all. And the creation is also it. That's why I say you are already home. Alright? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about your questions. Nobody will ever answer them to you. Nobody will answer them. It's just stay as what you are. Stay as what you are and it will become obvious. Unexplainable but obvious. Alright, I think that's it. So if you have a question, leave a comment, like this video, subscribe, and have a great day.